Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV. Listen, as you all enter, make sure you all hit that like button and subscribe. All right, listen, I just completed a video in regards to David and this Celeste Rivas case, and I wanted to get the most updated information to you all. So let's get into this, y'all. They say that they found a burn cage in the home that David rented in the Hollywood Hills. Now, I'm going to take you back probably a couple of months. There is a private detective, and his X handle is SF Investigates, Steve Fisher Investigates. And Steve Fisher had mentioned a few months ago when the police had raided, excuse me, had a warrant to search the home. He had talked about certain items in there that were not taken away, but were odd to be in this home, particularly uh, a suburban home. You wouldn't find this burn cage in a suburban home. Now, however, if you lived on a farm, if you lived out on your own property, this particular type of equipment would be wouldn't you wouldn't bat an eye about it. So when he saw the information or received the information about what the LAPD took out, they did not take this out because they said that it was in a box. It wasn't out. It wasn't germane to their investigation at the point. So let me go over his post, and then I'll go over a news article, and we'll go from there. But let me do this. Let me do the video first. Let me do the video first, and then we'll go over Steve Fisher's tweet.
the singer David and the runaway teen girlfriend who was found dead in the trunk of his Tesla. For weeks, we've been wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access last October. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And today, we are learning about one of those items. Steve Fisher has confirmed it was something called a burn cage. Take a look at your screen. That's what a burn cage looks like. It's used usually on farms to incinerate waste and debris, but lots of private homes have them as well. This particular model can apparently get up to a whopping 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees hotter than the temperature required to burn human bones. And this is the photograph Steve took of that burn device, the burn cage inside David's home.
All right. So we see this, correct? So let's go to Steve Fisher's X post. Right here. And I'm going to read it to you because you probably can't see it. Let me see if I can make it bigger. No, you can't see it. All right. I'm going to read it to you. It says, although my words, hold on. All right. It says, although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found in the Doheny address was that there were items you would expect to find on a farm rather than a home in the Hollywood Hills. One of those items was a burn cage incinerator, advertised to burn at 1,600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1,400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within the city limits and serves no legitimate purpose at a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this item was intended as a prop for a video. If that were the case, it raises obvious questions. And this is that thing about just, when people put this information out like, oh, it was supposed to be used as a video. People living out there in Hollywood and understanding what's going on and how videos and movies are made, he answers this real quickly. Why would a 55-pound burn cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to a prop designer or production house? Why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? And why was it never used in any video production? See, these are the things. See, people will throw out these, oh, you're just trying to, what if, what if, what if? No, this is someone who lives out there in Hollywood who understands that. And if you're going to be using a burn cage as a prop in a video, then the prop designer, you're going to have to get the people, you're going to have to get licenses and all this other stuff to be able to use this particular burn cage. They're going to know all the necessary permits and things like that that you're going to have to use to be able to use this burn cage. So why would you have it delivered to the home that you're staying in? Makes no sense, because the videographer and all those people in charge of the production need that burn cage. They got to test that burn cage. They've got to do all the things that they need to do for it. So why would they bring it to the home? You know, a lot of times we'll ask these questions or try to submit these answers, and sometimes we sound so foolish. And I'm so glad that he answered these questions for them. And it says, and why was it never used in any video production? It is also important to note that there was additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn cage. To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new in the box. However, given that Celeste Rivas Hernandez remains were ultimately found in the Tesla frunk, the presence of an incinerator at the same residence associated with that vehicle necessarily raises questions about intent. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant, and because it was not used, it appears it's not of importance to any possible criminal investigation. But we think it's important context, even if it's not criminal. The burn cage and other related items were delivered to the residents under a false name. Now, again, going back, if this was supposed to be under a video shoot, why was it delivered under a false name? Although the deliveries were accepted at the property. And then he has an attached of the burn cage, and I'm going to see if we can click on it to make it a little bit bigger. So that's the burn cage in the box, and it's from Professional Power, done right. And then this is a burn cage in use, and it says it incinerates up to 1600. All right. So this is all interesting. This is all interesting information. We're going to go into the New York Post. And this was written on December 16th, which was yesterday. A burn cage incinerator that is advertised to burn 1600 degrees was discovered at the Hollywood Hills mansion that singer David was renting at the time the body of a teen girl was found in the trunk of his Tesla, according to a private detective. The incinerator, which was still boxed and unused, was discovered inside the Doheny Street residence by Steve Fisher, who was hired to comb through the $20,000 a month pad by its owner. The private detective revealed the disturbing discovery on his X post, and he said that this would be something that you would expect to find on a farm rather than the home in Hollywood Hills. And they're showing it in use. And so, and this is what I was talking about, you know, with it being on the farm or being in the place, because look how it's burning. It's got all those holes. So a lot of oxygen can go in and burn whatever's in between. Is it big enough to hold a small body animal or debris? It looks like it is to me. And this is the quote that I wanted to put through there, that incinerators are illegal to use in LA County. and this is the home that it was found in. They're illegal to use in LA County. So again, what was it purchased for? They probably are not talking, but that is some type of information that we have. And again, I want to be able to stress clearly, the police did not take that piece of evidence out of the home because they didn't think it was germane to the investigation. So they left it there. Plus, it was in the box, so it didn't rile the cackles of the investigators at this point. Steve Fisher says it has to do with a lot to do with intent, but we will see what the grand jury, because again, a grand jury was convened in this case, and so we're going to see what the grant, from the information that the police have given to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors are giving that information to the grand jury. We're going to see if there are going to be any arrests coming from this grand jury. Um, all right. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, they said that they found a burn cage in the home that was rented by singer David. And all of this is just in connection with, adjacent to the LAPD police department's investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye bye.